Exploring Eliminative Materialism, Neuroscience versus Folk Psychology. In this video, we will explore the intriguing question of whether neuroscience could eventually take the place of folk psychology. To illustrate this, let's consider the concept of electrons. Despite the fact that no one has ever directly observed an electron, not even with the most advanced electron microscopes, scientific theories assert their existence. These theories have proven to be remarkably effective, wielding significant power in practical applications and gaining acceptance among experts across various scientific fields. We are confident in the existence of electrons because they are integral to many of our most robust scientific theories. Such entities are referred to as theoretical entities. A theoretical entity is something we believe to be real, not because we can see it, but because its existence is necessary for the validity of a theory we trust. Now, this might seem like an unusual line of inquiry, but let's turn our attention to beliefs. What evidence do we have that beliefs actually exist? Why should we accept the existence of beliefs, desires, hopes, fears, and other mental states that we commonly attribute to ourselves and others? One perspective is that beliefs could also be considered theoretical entities. Folk psychology encompasses our ability to explain and predict the behavior of others. Many philosophers view folk psychology as a theoretical framework that suggests, for instance, that if someone believes there is a tiger nearby and has a fear of tigers, they will likely try to escape. Our comprehension of beliefs, fears, and other mental states arises from their roles in folk psychological explanations of behavior. But what exactly is a belief? Defining it can be challenging, yet we all have a general understanding of how beliefs operate. For example, imagine two individuals heading to work, both needing to walk to the bus stop. One carries an umbrella while the other does not. What accounts for this difference? Folk psychology offers several explanations, the simplest being that one person believes it might rain, while the other does not. This explanation allows us to make accurate predictions, such as which person will be caught off guard if it starts to rain. If folk psychology is indeed a theory, it is an incredibly useful one. Our survival often hinges on it. Thus, just as we can be assured of the existence of electrons due to the success of the theories that propose them, we can also be confident in the existence of beliefs because of the effectiveness of the theory that supports them. However, this line of reasoning raises a significant concern. While electrons are supported by many of our most reliable scientific theories, is folk psychology, the best theory we have regarding human behavior, truly a sound one? The practical utility of a theory is not the sole criterion for its validity. For instance, consider the question of why the sun sets. One whimsical theory posits that the sun is a timid deity, frightened of humans, who spends each day traversing the sky to avoid our gaze. This theory accurately predicts that the sun will set tomorrow, yet we have no substantial reason to believe it is true. A far more credible explanation is that the Earth rotates on its axis every 24 hours, causing the sun to disappear from view from various locations on the planet. Imagine a comprehensive theory of human behavior that does not rely on beliefs, desires, and similar constructs. If such a theory were to emerge and prove superior to folk psychology, it could revolutionize our understanding of human actions. As it stands, folk psychology is not infallible. We often misinterpret the reasons behind someone's actions or their future decisions. Some philosophers argue that neuroscience may ultimately provide us with a more accurate theory of human behavior than folk psychology. If that were to occur, would we still have a solid foundation for believing in the existence of beliefs? The concepts of beliefs, desires, and other mental states are often discussed in the context of folk psychology, which is a traditional way of understanding human behavior. In contrast, various biological theories have historically suggested the existence of vital spirits to account for the phenomenon of life. However, contemporary biochemistry has advanced to a point where it no longer requires the notion of vital spirits, as it can effectively explain the processes of life through established chemical principles. This shift indicates that biochemistry is a more robust and comprehensive theory, leading us to reconsider the need for the concept of vital spirits. Eliminative materialists argue that neuroscience will ultimately prove to be more effective than folk psychology, just as biochemistry has surpassed the outdated ideas of vitalism. Unlike folk psychology, which relies on subjective interpretations of mental states, neuroscience is grounded in the principles of chemistry and physics. It is a discipline that can be rigorously tested through precise experimental methods, and it is evolving steadily, built upon a solid foundation of well-validated research conducted by a global network of experts. Moreover, neuroscience does not assume the existence of beliefs, desires, or any other typical mental states. Instead, it focuses on the underlying mechanisms of the brain, employing the languages of chemistry, physics, and mathematics to explain behavior. If neuroscience provides us with a more accurate framework for understanding human actions than folk psychology does, we must ask ourselves, do we still have any justification for believing in the existence of beliefs? What are your thoughts on this matter?